A very good evening and Jai Bhim to all present here. Before I start with today's session, I would like to thank Digital Nalanda platform and Mr. Anup Kumar ji for giving this opportunity to interact with the new upcoming students. And I would like to thank my close friend, Dr. Pankaj, for bringing me in contact with the Digital Nalanda Foundation and giving me an opportunity to uh, you would say, plan something or support our community. Today we have two young budding presenters, speakers who will be guiding us on various issues for post MBBS career guidance. Before we start, I will like to pay my homage to our idols of our philosophy, Lord Buddha, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Savitribai Phule, Sahuji Maharaj, Sant Kabir, and Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar. With their blessings, we are here, and we have to go further far ahead and fulfill their dreams. This is our third session. We had two sessions previously. We had very interesting talks about what are the options for MBBS, post MBBS, and how do we prepare for NEET examination. Then what are the options available outside India, especially Dr. Sheetal has given very good idea about the various the steps of doing USMLE. What are the options to of entering the US for higher education. And today we have two, I would say, rising stars from our community, from our society. First, I would introduce Dr. Apurva. Dr. Apurva, please switch on your camera so that you are visible. Yes, Dr. Apurva is actually from. I'm currently in Raipur, and Dr. Apurva is from Raipur, though she was born in Bhandara in Maharashtra. She completed her initial education from Raipur, and I'm very happy to see her today. In fact, I got to know her through this Digital Nalanda platform itself. Dr. Apurva did her schooling from Bharat Mata High School, which is nearby AIMS. And after that, she did MBBS from the very prestigious institute, MJIMS Sevagram, which is a very well-known institute, as you know. This institute has given a lot of alumni who are very higher level of their career, and Dr. Apurva is following their steps. After completing her MBBS, she joined AIMS Raipur as a non-acad JR for some time. Unfortunately, we could not meet that time, but I'm fortunate that we could connect through this platform. And then she got post-graduation, that is MS Ophthalmology, through the NEET examination. And currently she is doing Ophthalmology MS from GMC Baroda. Dr. Apurva is a multi-talented personality. Apart from doing studies, she is very good dancer, and also is a good artist. And yeah, she must be more talented. We will know how what are our other talents. So without much ado, let me invite Dr. Apurva to share her screen and enlighten and guide our students who were waiting for her presentation. So Dr. Apurva, please start. Apurva, please unmute yourself.
Thank you so much for the introduction, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Apurva Ghodichore, currently ophthalmology resident at GMC Baroda. And today I'm very glad to be here to share my experience, my journey of how I prepared for the entrance examination, both NEET PG and INICT. So to begin with, I would like to start with the most important question that should come to your mind, which is when to start preparing. So in today's competitive world, especially for undergraduate students, the sooner you start, the better. I started my preparation when I was in my third MBBS. I had joined an offline course and I used to make notes from that. So that is where I started having understanding, or I got oriented to this competitive world that was ahead of me while I was doing my MBBS. So the sooner you start, the better it will be for you to get oriented to the entire pattern of the examination. The reason why I started my presentation with this question is because I did a mistake during my preparation, and the mistake was during internship. Usually internship is a period when we are very fresh and we are highly motivated and interested, focused to study. But because of our busy schedule and our postings, we are not, most of us fail to manage our studies and our work together. So similarly, I could not give my 100% during my internship, and I gave my first attempt of the NEET PG examination. But I got a decent rank which could get me a good seat. But I was not totally satisfied, and I was confused whether to take a seat or to leave or to prepare again. And in that dilemma, I lost a lot of time of my preparation. So my sincere advice to all my juniors who are going to give the NEET PG entrance examination in the upcoming March session, especially those who are giving their first attempt during their internship, would be the day you give your exam, the day you get the results, you have the rank in your hand, just make up your mind on that very day whether you want to prepare again for your examination or do you want to take a drop. So that would be my real good advice to all the juniors who are giving the NEET PG entrance examination. Now, once you have made up your mind that you're going to prepare again or you'll be preparing for the examination, the next question that should strike your mind should be your source for preparation. Nowadays, there are n number of platforms that you can be using for preparation. May it be PrepLadder, Marrow, and Academy Times. There are so many good platforms, and all of them are equally good. So the only thing that you have to remember is once you choose one platform, stick to that platform only during your internship, post-internship, till you crack the exam. You should stick by, especially for the notes that you make. That should be from one source only. What I did was, that is solely my experience, and I'm not asking you to follow anything, but what I did was I prepared notes from PrepLadder and I took Marrow question bank. Now, this becomes very important that you have to have a good question bank. Notes are going to be similar in all the sources that you take, but question bank is very, very important. So the one thing that I liked about PrepLadder was the theory portion was very concise. So that once I finished off studying one subject, I became confident that I will be able, the theory portion of that subject is over. अब मैं MCQs करना शुरू कर सकती हूँ. So mentally you have to be very confident that I can do MCQs of a particular topic or a particular subject. So what I did for me. So you can use any platform. All of them are equally good. Now, once you have chosen your platform and you know that this is what I'm going to take, the next thing is making proper notes. You can either go for handwritten notes or you can go for printed notes. I would suggest to go for handwritten notes. That was really helpful too. The problem with handwritten notes is these notes are going to take time. So you will have to listen to the video lectures, make your own notes in your own way. That is surely going to take time, but it will be easy for you to memorize later on. The advantage, on the other hand, with printed notes is they are going to save your time. You can just listen to the lectures and you can see what is written in the printed notes and see the diagrams also that are there with you. But they will be difficult to memorize because that is not what you have written, that is what is printed. So the time that you save while writing those notes, you will have to utilize those time to revise or multiple readings of the same printed topics. That will be very helpful. So the ultimate motive of making your notes should be, if any MCQ comes from that particular topic of which we have made your notes, you should be able to visualize that page or that particular topic in your head when that MCQ pops in front of you. So that should be of sole purpose. Your notes should be such that the moment you finish writing all your notes, you should be confident that now I have a good set of notes, and you focus more on the MCQs. Next thing would be, all subjects are equally important. What we tend to do is we give more time to major subjects, and somewhere the minor subjects, they get neglected. But the thing is, major subjects are going to take a lot of time, and you'll never will be able to complete all the topics that are there in major subjects. So better give most of your time to major subjects, but do not neglect your minor subjects. As I said, when you will be preparing your notes, make it in such a way that your major subjects are, most of it are complete, and your minor subjects are fully done. 100% of the notes of minor subjects should be done. So balance your time in such a way that your short subjects do not get neglected, because they are going to fetch you marks, and that too easily as compared to the major subjects. And prepare your notes as early as you can, because once you have good set of notes, you will have more time to memorize those notes again and again and do multiple revisions of the same thing. Now, again, then you start preparing, you will have to divide your day. Divide your day so that you don't get burnt out at the end of the day. You don't feel low, and because you burden yourself with so much of knowledge and text. So just divide your day and take proper breaks in between them. What I did was, I used to wake up in the morning, divide my day. Initially, in previous day itself, I used to divide my day into two parts. In the morning, I used to take one major subject. This is when I was preparing my notes during my internship or even after internship. So first in the morning, with fresh mind, I used to take up making major subject notes, and I used to make the notes and try in the evening or in the afternoon period. I used to just see what notes I have made, take one read of it, and then I used to take a break or sleep for an hour or so, get up again, and then in the evening period, I used to start with one minor subject. My goal was that at the end of the day, the notes that I have made for one particular day, I should be knowing what is there in my notes before I go to bed. What we tend to do is, if for making notes, we keep writing and stacking all the notes that we have, we don't know what is written in our own notes. So my advice would be, just read whatever you have read, noted down, or whatever notes you have made in that day, revise those notes before going to bed. So that really helped me, because I knew what was there in my notes, what needs more revision, what needs less revision, what I can memorize or what I remember or not. So this will help you in the longer go. It will help you to make multiple revisions. So just divide your day into subjects so that your major subject will be completed with fresh mind, and your minor subjects can also get completed during the evening period or so. Now, everyone have their own preferences. So this is what I did, and it was good for me. Now, this is some small trick that I used to do. I made a WhatsApp group for myself, and I was the only member of that WhatsApp group. And what I used to do is, whenever I finished studying a topic, or for that matter, any subject, when I finished that subject, I used to take photographs of important things, especially for pathology. I did all the histology slides or all the pathology images that were important. I used to take those images either from the books that I had or from various other sources that I had. I used to take those pictures and I used to post it in that WhatsApp group. And I used to tag those pictures with the diagnosis and the findings that I had in that picture. So what happened is, at the end of the day, I made so many groups of different subjects, and I used to just scroll down those images, and I used to look at those images so that I get used to those images. And if that image pops up in front of me, I'll be able to answer the questions related to it. Nowadays, as you know, there is integrated pattern of examination. So even if you have not read the entire theory of that, and if there is an image-based question, you will be able to strike out some of the options. Like, you will be able to answer those even without knowing the complete theory about that subject. So that is also an advantage of the integrated pattern of question. So this making this WhatsApp group for photographs really helped me. Especially during the last months of the preparation, where you have already read so much of it, but how to memorize everything? You can't remember everything. So when you read the topic, just post the picture, post the diagnosis and the related information to it, and keep revising that precise information again and again. So if the question pops in front of you, you'll be very confident to answer it without any doubt. So I did similar things for pathology slides and histology diagrams. Also for image-based questions. There are so many subjects in our 19 subjects. There are so many subjects those have image-based questions, especially dermatology. You have forensic, you have image-based questions, and even major subjects have some repeated questions that come which are image based. So this would be a small trick that would be useful. Make a group for yourself and start posting the pictures from the day you start preparing for your entrance examination. So you'll have a good collection of pictures by the time you complete preparing your notes. Another thing, this is something that my seniors have been telling me. Anyone that I talk to would speak about GTs, and I realized the importance of this GTs or tests only when I started giving them, and I saw the results of how it worked out. So my sincere advice would be, spare your Sundays for grand tests. Whatever notes you make, whatever notes you revise, do it from Monday till Saturday, but spare your Sundays only for grand tests. The thing is, grand test will give you an idea of what conceptual cover हो जाए, slides और सारी चीजें cover हो जाती है उसमें. You have to give oriented to the pattern of examination. Just cover up these portions of your syllabus and start giving grand test as early as possible. Now, another thing would be review your grand test on that very day. Now, why is this important? Is because when you give your grand test in the morning, especially you give your grand test only, this is very recommended, that you give your grand test utne baje, jitne baje you will be having your examinations. So usually it is 9 to 12:30. So plan your day, plan your Sunday especially in such a way that you get up early in the morning, have your breakfast, eat good, sit for the examination sharp at 9. What will happen is, when you give these grand tests every Sunday, your mind will get trained to become active between 9 to 12:30 every Sunday, every day, basically. So this will help you during your examination. The one very big advantage of giving this grand test every day is you will get accustomed to the environment of giving this examination. the anxiety, the nervousness that we have when we give this any grant test or any test for that matter, is whether I will be able to recall the question, whether I'll know the answer or not, what if I mark it wrong. So all these questions, they tend to be solved by giving this grant test regularly in 15 days or every week as you proceed with your preparation. So I still remember going for my exam, and I sat on the seat that was allotted to me and with the desktop in front of me, and the examination started. Initial 2-3 questions I was anxious, but then I started answering the questions and went forward with it, and I felt like I was giving a grind test sitting there. So that really helped me to calm myself and focus on what questions are coming rather than to focus on the outcome, whether what rank or what marks I'm going to get. So this has to be done. You have to spare your Sundays for grant tests. In spite of, you have to make your timetable in such a way that you get your Sundays for grant tests and reviewing the grant test on the same very day, so that you will know that whatever questions जो तुमने सुबह जिसका आंसर दिया है, what was your approach to that question? How did you strike out the wrong options? What was your thought process जब that question popped in front of you? So when you review it on the same day, you will understand your mistakes and remember your mistakes better. So that is the sole purpose of giving the grant test, and that is very, very important. Now, the most important thing, consistency is the key. Everyone who is going to prepare for the examination is going to work hard. Everyone is equally motivated to crack this examination and go to the best college that is possible and to get the seat of their choice. What makes your rank better than the other people is your consistency. You have to work hard every day. You have to train your mind in such a way that you have to get up at a particular time every day and set your schedule in such a way that your body also gets accustomed to studying for so many long hours. So you have to push yourself every day. No one feels like studying for the entire day. No one feels motivated every day. You'll have to push yourself every day and make a timetable and stick to that timetable to get the desired result. So I would like to conclude this by saying this beautiful quote that there are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. So stay motivated, keep preparing, keep working hard, and I'm sure you will be amazed to see the results that you get at the end of the day. So that is my presentation, and I would recommend every one of you to watch all the previous 2 videos as well. I saw them, and there are some really good advices given by my respected seniors, and even the Akanksha man who is going to present now. She is also an inspiration for me and since MBBS. So I would recommend everyone to just listen to those lectures. These are really this would be really helpful to you for your preparation. So, thank you.
Thank you, Apurva, for that very crisp and clear message that consistency is important. Apurva, I would like to ask you a few questions. Many times you said that whatever resource material is available, whether it is marrow, whether it is dams, all are equally good. What do you suggest, or what do you feel, whether online is good or offline is good? Like, should somebody attend classes, or they can just read, go through the literature or study material at home or online, and which one is better according to you?
Okay, so I initially I attended offline classes only, and then online classes. Offline classes are I would prefer doing online classes more, because we can schedule it as per our wish. We know what, but we have to be self-motivated for that as well. That is a factor that you have to consider during online preparation. You will have to sit by yourself and complete all the topics that are there. But I would prefer and I would recommend doing online classes, provided you should be self-motivated.
Good. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. That was really important, because, you know, as you said, we need to be motivated. And do you think in the beginning everybody is motivated, and over a period of time they lose steam and just
Yes.
some negativity or something.
Yes, that definitely happens, and especially after you give a test and you score bad, you don't feel like studying for the day. So it is very important that you keep doing what you're doing, or study something that you know on that day, so that you feel you get some confidence on that. So that definitely happens. But the only thing is you have to push yourself every day and keep be with your family members, feel good, feel comfortable in what you're doing, and talk to your friends for a day. Take a little break if that is possible. It is okay to take a break if we are feeling mentally exhausted, and that happens with everybody when, because we bombard ourselves with so much of information and text, and then we don't remember anything, like we don't know anything. But that actually doesn't happen. The day question comes in front of our mind, we automatically remember what we have read. So that happens because of multiple revisions that we do. But then you have to read every day. That is the only thing that we can do from our side.
Okay. From your talk, Apurva, I think you studied individually, or did you do a group study?
I studied individually. I could not get a good group to, like, I did my MBBS from Sevagram.
Yeah.
So, and I live in Raipur. So, when I came back home, I did not have a good proper circle to study. But definitely, group study helps more. If you have a good group of two, even two, three people, if you have a good group and each of you study some topic and share it with some other person, that will definitely help you. When you listen to some other person telling you something with that, will be that you can memorize it or remember it more well. And then when you read that topic, it will feel like you've read it before. So definitely, if you have a group of two, three people, that is surely good for your preparation.
Yes, very well said. That it is said that when you teach somebody, you learn it twice. So when you
Yes,
discuss
sir.
in groups, probably it will help you to revise those things. And importance of rest is also important. Very, very well stressed. You
Yes,
have
sir.
to give yourself break, because you must have heard the story that if you continuously use an axe, it loses the sharpness. So you have to sharpen the axe before you start again cutting the wood. Similarly, this is an analogy. One more thing I would like to ask you, Apurva. Uh, what is your take, or what, like many people or many students, they study, but they are not, like, they have not decided which branch to take, whether they should be going for medical side, they should be going for surgical side. So what is your opinion? Should they decide the subject first? Should they decide the college, or should they decide it based on the mark?
So initially, when you start your preparation, you should have something in your mind, just for the motivation purpose that I want to take this branch, and then you have to start your preparation. But nowadays the scenario is like whatever, because of the counseling process being so complex, you can get allotted anything and everything. So what I would say is go by exclusion method. At least know what you don't want, and then prioritize whichever subjects or branches are left. You can be then prioritizing them, but just surely exclude them which you don't want, and keep a focused mind of this is what I want to do, this is my dream branch, and then work for it.
Yeah, you brought some important aspect about counseling process. So this counseling process keep on changing very frequently. There are so many options. I would like you to tell something about how do you choose or select options while you go for counseling. What are the methods? And I'm sure
Yes,
these
sir.
methods keep on changing, but whatever you
Yes,
have
sir.
undergone, can you just share your experience? How do you decide about the options and counseling?
Okay, sir. So counseling process initially, you should always have the branches that you want to take.
Yeah.
And the most important question is whether to take a medical branch or a surgical branch.
Yeah.
So basically, most of us know that we want to go in a medical or a surgical branch. Most of us, really. So when you have that in your mind, just prioritize whatever branches that you want, and then go to the previous year allotment list. So whatever ranks that you have got, you will have all these colleges that have been allotted around your rank, just 500 plus minus. Look at these colleges, see which region that you want to go into, if that is everyone's preference where they want to go, which of them are good colleges. You will know by them. Do some research of the colleges that have been allotted around your rank and then fill accordingly. So that will make the counseling process easier. You should know what has been allotted initially. So that will act as a guide of how to go ahead with the counseling process.
Yeah, thank you. I think very important point. From my side, I would like to say that don't be under a peer pressure to select one particular subject or anything.
Yes, sir.
All subjects are really good. And if you enjoy that subject, you will definitely excel in that. So I think if we do not have any questions at present, so we may conclude this session. And I would like to say that as Buddha has said, "Atto deep bhava." Apurva has lighted the candle in herself, and Buddha also said that one candle can light number of candles, thousands of candles, without losing its own shine. So I'm sure this your talk would further encourage and enlighten more candles to tread the path which you have successfully gone through. Thank you, Apurva. Thank you very much for
Thank you so much.
presentation. May I now invite Dr. Akanksha. Dr. Akanksha, again, she is an alumnus of NGIMS Sevagram, the very reputed institute all over India and in fact all over world. Dr. Akanksha again is from Maharashtra and a place nearby Nagpur, Yavatmal, which is the cotton city of Maharashtra. She was born and brought up in Yavatmal, and then her initial schooling was in Yavatmal. After that, she joined MGIMS in 2012, and after finishing her internship, she started preparing from UPSC. Akanksha is a very bright student, and she cracked one of the most difficult exams in the first go itself. She appeared for the mains and as well as interview, and she could not make the cut just because of 2 marks. But she did not lose the heart, and she continued to study and go for her dream of going into the administrative services. And finally, she was allotted, she cleared all the stages with a very good ranking, All India ranking of 562, and then was allotted IPS cadre. She would be starting her training from 15th or 16th, I guess. 15th,
yes, sir. 16th.
December.
16. Yes, sir.
So congratulations, Akanksha, for that wonderful, that big success, and it's just the beginning.
Yes.
So as I was talking to you, probably you did not have, you have not prepared a PPT, or so may I ask you, or may I start with maybe a small kind of conversation? So,
okay, sir.
Akanksha, was this your childhood dream, or did you think of doing civil services before joining MBBS or during MBBS?
Sir, am I audible?
You are visible. You are visible, and you are audible as well.
Okay. Okay, sir. So, first of all, Jai Bhim, everyone. Myself, Dr. Akanksha Milind Tamgadge. I would like to start today's session by paying my humble tributes to Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Savitribai Phule, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and all those great personalities who have worked towards emancipation and empowerment of our society, and who have inspired us to grow from the vulnerable sections to such eminent positions. So, sir, first of all, I'll also thank Digital Nalanda, Dr. Pankaj sir, for giving me this opportunity to interact with the young generations who could be inspired to take up this field. And I would like to give a brief introduction about it. So coming to your question, sir, that No, it wasn't my childhood dream to become or to be a civil servant, but I nurtured the dream after completing my MBBS.
Okay.
Civil services wasn't actually an agenda right from the beginning, but it eventually became my goal in after completing my MBBS.
So may I ask you what triggered that goal, or what made you think of choosing civil services after MBBS as a
Yes,
career
sir.
option?
Sir, as you have introduced me, we know that my both mother and father both are doctors, and I
Okay.
come from a family of doctors. So it was a initial motivation that I also should become a doctor. But after that, what triggered or what made me do this as a career or made me choose civil services is that I wanted to become a doctor of society along with a doctor of a patient, right?
Okay.
So civil services provides me an effective platform for this. Civil services is a branch where you become the implementers of the government policy, which the which the politicians or ministers design, and thus you will be able to touch each and every corner of the society. You will be able to take part in the holistic development of the society along with the development of the or the what we can say the development of your field or your patients as per se that.
So that means you wanted to become doctor of the system as well.
Right,
Not only the individual, but also the system which will change or which will benefit more individuals, right?
right, sir.
Okay. Akanksha, I would like to know, because when I was like, I think my opinion about civil services was it is only for IPS, or it is only for IAS or IFS. So, what are these civil services, and what are the exam patterns? What are the options which we get after applying for this civil service exams?
Yes, sir. So civil services is a exam, is an umbrella exam which encompasses many services. It is not only about administrative services or police services. It is a service which is conducted by Union Public Service Commission, which encompasses three All India services, which are Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, and Indian Forest Service, and several central services. Mainly, they are around 18, which is Indian Foreign Service, then Indian Revenue Service, Income Tax, Indian Revenue Service, Customs and Central Excise, then Indian Accounts and Audit Service, and many more to be and also these are group A services. Then we also have some group B services, which are the DANIPS, which is Delhi, Andaman, Nicobar, Diu, Daman, and Dadra Nagar Haveli civil service. Then we have Pondicherry civil services, Pondicherry police services. So these are all the services which you would be serving when you qualify this examination, sir.
Okay, so that means one exam can open a lot of options to you. So
Yes,
how
sir.
are these exams conducted? Can you give us some idea about these exams in a more better or details?
Okay, sir. So civil services is conducted once a year when a person graduates from any degree from a recognized institution of the government. He or she can apply for the civil services. Then from at the age of 21 years to the age of 32 years, you can opt for civil services. The for a general candidate, you can either give 6 attempts or up to the age of 32 years, you can give attempt. For the other communities like scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, or OBCs and other, we have unlimited attempts up to the age of 37 years. So after the graduation, you have to give an examination, which is a UPSC civil services examination. The UPSC Civil Services examination consists of three phases. First is the preliminary stage, second is the main stage, and third is the personality test stage. So first, the prelim stage is a qualifying exam where around 10 to 15 lakh students sit for the examination, and around 15 to 16,000 students are qualified out of it. So it is an objective exam of 200 marks, which you have to clear. After you clear the preliminary exam, which is often conducted in the month of May or June, you are qualified for the mains examination. The mains examination is a examination which is a descriptive one, or you have to write 9 theory papers of 3 hours each, and it is of 1750 marks. So one paper of essay, 4 general studies papers, 2 papers of optionals, which it all encompasses the mains examination. Now, once you clear the mains examination, around 2,500 to 3,000 students clear the mains exam, and from that you will be going for the personality test stage. The personality test stage is the last stage of the exam, which is of around 275 marks. And when you clear all the 3 stages, the accumulative or the cumulative marks of all the 3 stages would be added to, and then a merit list would be published. According to the merit list, we would be allotted the service, and then you would be going for the training of that service.
Okay. May I ask you, like, do you think, or how easy or difficult is it to pass or crack this exam for a medical graduate? Like, is it easier or is it difficult? This is one. Second is, how do you choose your subjects?
Okay, sir. Sir, for your first question, sir, every exam is a difficult exam because as we see, as Apurva earlier mentioned, that a NEET PG or INICT or any post-graduation exam is equally difficult as we see. So UPSC is also one of those where it is difficult because there is immense competition. You have to study really sincerely and honestly for this exam to crack it. So, but at the same time, having said that it is difficult, it is not impossible to clear it. It is possible with your consistency, hard work, and perseverance. This exam is different from what you have studied in your graduation. You study sciences, medical sciences, basically in your graduation. Now, when you come to UPSC, UPSC is about a holistic study of all the subjects, because it is a study where you will study the political system or the polity of the country, the economy of the country, how the history has shaped our country, what are the art cultures of India, how the science and technology has come and how it has developed, and what are the prospect, how government functions, how we are able to take different kinds of decisions, how the functioning of the judiciary, executive, and polity is there, and how constitution guides our system. Each and everything is there in UPSC. So it is a holistic area where, yes, it is very correct that your medical knowledge would help in the preparation, but you need to do something extra. The arts, the subjects of the arts like polity, economy, history, geography need to be studied. So it is a bit different, but with proper guidance and proper direction, you can surely do it.
Um, I think I would. My second question was, how do you choose the subjects?
Yes, sir. Sir, subjects we do not have the choice in subjects of general studies. General studies have 4 papers in it. Paper 1 consists of history, geography, and world history in it, with social justice. Uh, uh, Second is the GS paper 2, which consists of polity, international relations, and sociology. Then paper number 3 is economics, environment, science and technology, disaster management, and internal security. And paper 4 is ethics and aptitude. So these papers are compulsory papers. We do not have choice in them, but for the optional subject we do have a choice. So either you can choose your graduation subject as an optional subject, which consists of 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2, or you can choose from the subjects which are given by the UPSC in its notification.
Okay. Uh, yeah, thank you for that clarification. Do you,
Okay, sir.
what is your take? Do we need to have coaching for it, or can we do it by self-study? How long we have to? How much is there? Like this many hours you have to dedicate? Uh, what is your take on this?
Uh, s- Sir, if we look at the exam, it is an year-long exam. So if I have to start my preparation, so it is advisable that if you are new to this exam, if you do not have enough guidance, and if you cannot understand the subjects which are there for this exam, so it is advisable to take coaching, may it be online, offline, or any means which you prefer. But it is not at all compulsory, because these are generic subjects which you most of us have studied in school. So if you have a basic understanding about it, and if you can give get clarity about it, and if I can write answers, means is about writing answers. 3 hours you have to write a theory paper. So if you can express yourself understanding the subject, then it is very it is all right to not go for coaching.
Thank you. Yeah, Akanksha, you have gone through this study, this rigorous training, and what you can say, uh, difficult journey, and you have cracked the exam. I would like you to share your experience about this journey of civil service exams.
Okay, sir. Sir, I am from 2012 batch of MBBS from NJMS. So I completed my MBBS in 2017 and internship of 1 year, compulsory internship in 2018. After that, I wanted to have a better understanding of this examination. So I joined the coaching at Pune. Then, after 1 year of coaching in 2019 itself, I sat for the exam. I gave the examination, cleared the preliminary stage, cleared the main stage, and went for the interview as well, the personality test, but could not clear by a mere margin of 2 marks. Then, in 2021, I again sat for the examination and cleared all the stages with an all India rank of 562, and I got IPS this year.
Okay. So, what difficulties you faced? How was like? What did you do to overcome those difficulties? And what will be your message to the aspirants who want to do this civil services exams?
So there are various difficulties in the process. First of all, sir, the dilemma which we say starts from the very beginning. Should we sit for the exam? The basic thing is this. Uh, People are very confused. Should we give it a try? Should we give this exam, because there are multiple opinions about the exam. There is a very low success rate. People think that we will waste our years. in the examination. The people think that if we couldn't make it, then our precious years of graduation, post graduation, could be wasted. So first of all, I would like to say that you should uh, at least take a decision that you have to sit for the exam. You should never have a dilemma in the deciding this. This exam gives you immense opportunity to serve the people. So it is very much possible for each one of you to crack the exam. So first of all, start from there. Start from the decision that you have to sit for the exam. Now, after that, whether a thing comes that how will we prepare, how much should we join the coaching, should we not join the coaching, or what should be the how many hours a day should we study. So first of all, we need to finalize. After we have made the decision, we need to finalize what should be our optional subject, and do we need coaching for it. If you are very new to this exam, if you do not have anyone who would be able to tell you or who would be able to guide you in a proper way, go for coaching, because coaching is a place where you would get guidance in a right direction. So if it is not possible, and it is not necessary that the coaching should be offline only, because many online coachings and free online coachings are available for UPSC online as well. So go for it, and then you can go through the process. Third thing is, choose an optional subject. It is a very crucial part of the examination. What happens is that if you do not choose a good optional, because it consists of 500 marks, so it either gets you into the list, or you are out of the list because of an optional. So if it is possible, choose the optional which you think would be getting you good marks, which you can study for a good number of hours, and you will be able to write answers to that. Then, sir, we see for how many hours do you need to study. This exam is an year-long exam, so you need to study for years together to go for the exam. Year-long, you have to study. So, as Apurva also mentioned, consistency is the one thing which you need to do. So, at least on an average, what I used to do is, at least you need to study 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours a day. This would be my target, not more, not less. Um, it is advisable, because I would like to advise on this, because if you study for too long for a day, you will study for 1 day or 2 days. Like you will study for 12 hours or 14 hours for one day, and next day you wouldn't do anything. So it breaks a link, or what we can say, it breaks the chain of your study. So every day, if you study for 6 to 7 hours, so that would be sufficient to cover the syllabus and to appear for the exam. And then many of the things, then many other hardships come in the exam, is that if you fail any one stage of the examination, you have to start from the beginning. If you fail preliminary, you have to again give the exam next year from the preliminary stage. If you fail in the main stage, you again have to start from preliminary stage and then give the mains. Likewise, in personality test also, if you fail, again you have to start from prelims. So that makes it a very difficult path to take, that you have to start from the starting point. If you get stuck in middle, you cannot just go forward from there. You have to come to the starting point, and then you can. So these are some of the hardships this exam has. But apart from that, once you get through it, you would be able to serve the nation, and you would be seeing how much power and how much opportunities you have, so that you can do the betterment of the society.
Thank you, Akanksha. This was like, I think you have already answered the question which was asked in the chat box, whether coaching is required or not. So
Yeah.
you already answered that. Uh, I just want to know whether this coaching also provide training for personality test or interviews. Like online, you can get the material. But what about the personality test or interviews? Are there any special coaching classes, or you can just do it by looking at the YouTube videos or videos of the interview?
Sir, the all the three stages, may it be preliminary stage or main stage or personality test, it is very, very important to give mock test for that. The mock test for prelims, for then for mains, and then for the interview as well. There are mock interviews which are conducted by reputed institutions, both online as well as offline. So it is conducted at places like Delhi, Mumbai, or the state capitals mostly. Uh, there are also options for online mock interviews as well because of the uh, ongoing COVID pandemic. It was available as an option to give online as well, and they have continued it. So it is very, very important that you evaluate yourself before going to the board, before going to the actual UPSC interview. It helps to evaluate what the mistakes you are making and what should be your etiquettes, what should be your mannerisms which you should carry. How do we answer a particular question? What mistakes are you making while answering that question? So they are the things which you get to know after giving mocks. So that is available, sir.
Okay. There is one question from the in the chat box. When to start answer writing? Actually, this
Yes, sir.
Adarsh, if he is there, can you just explain what exactly you want to know when to start answer writing?
Sir, I get him. I got his question.
Okay.
After the mains is all about answer writing. We have 20 questions which we have to cover in the span of 3 hours. So answer writing becomes a very good or very important area where you. So I would suggest after 2 to 3 months of initial preparation, when you start to get things or when you can correlate your subject, all the subjects with each other, and when you can understand how the things are going and how the things should be presented in an answer, then I think it is an ideal time to start answer writing. So if you are not that confident, you can take 2 to 3 more months and then you can start answer writing.
Okay. And there is one more question about which are the best books for prelim exam and main exam. And one more is from whether the person is from Odia medium and he wants to answer take this exam in English medium. So he has asked whether it is how difficult or how easy it would be to prepare in English medium when he's not from primarily from Odia medium.
Okay. So, sir, there is a list of books which I followed. It is mostly followed by all the toppers. If you want the list of the books, I would be forwarding it to you, Pankaj sir, and he can very well forward you all because the subjects are many and book list is also a bit lengthy. So it would not be feasible for me to tell in this session, but I will surely forward you all my book list. And then coming to second question, the ODIA medium student. Yes, if you want to attempt this exam in English, so if you are well versed with English and you can understand the question which is asked in the mains examination, so it is all right. We do not have to write a very sophisticated language. We need very simple language to write this exam. So if you are able to understand the question and if you are able to write what is your point of view on that question, it is all right. But if you are not that well versed with English, if you are not comfortable with English, the UPSC, there is an option of UPSC conducts this exam in all the 22 scheduled languages. So ODI is one of them. So you can attempt it in ODI as well. There is no issue in that. Both the mains examination as well as the personality test.
Okay, okay. We are getting a lot of questions in the chat box. I would request all those who want to ask their questions to put their questions in the chat box. One more question was there, Madam. GS1, GS2, and GS3 does all these exams in one day?
No, we have two papers in one day. We have GS1 and GS2 on one day. That is 3 hours, 9 to 12 GS1, and then 2 to 5 GS2. And then on the next day, we have GS3 and GS4, like this.
Okay. One more question is how to evaluate answer writing.
Okay. So evaluation of answer writing is like if there can be two ways in that. If you are attempting a mock test of a coaching institute, then you can get evaluated from that coaching institute as well. Or if you do not, if you are doing answer writing on your own, then you can get evaluated from some of your peers or someone who has cleared the exam or someone who is well versed with the examination. He or she can also help you in that matter.
Okay, thank you. We
Okay,
will still discuss about various questions which are coming up. But before that, let me ask you, would you like to share some important experiences or events which were, like, you can say, they changed your way of thinking, or which changed your study pattern or your preparation pattern for these exams?
Sir, the most important event was my failure in the first examination itself. Sir, because till date I had cleared every examination which I have sat for, and then making it up to the last stage, but couldn't when I couldn't find my name in the list, it was a turning point because it is said that failure is the first step of success. So it is likewise. It was that a point which I understood that this examination requires much more than just hard work. It requires perseverance. It requires consistency. It requires so many other attributes which you need to develop in order to clear it. So that was an event which I think that which was the lowest point, and I think that it kind of motivated me to study again, to start from the beginning again, and thus sit for the exam again till you get there, till you get what you want.
Okay. Yeah. One question is about CSAT. So
CSAT, yes.
Shubham wants to know what something about CSAT.
Okay. Sir, in preliminary examinations, there are two papers. First is the general studies paper, and second is the CSAT. CSAT is an aptitude test, comprehension and aptitude test. So it is a paper which is qualifying, which makes you eligible for the preliminary examination. So CSAT, what I did for CSAT is that UPSC started the CSAT papers from 2013, from the year 2013. So from 2013 till 2020, I collected all the papers of CSAT and I solved them all. And then there are videos which are available on YouTube, free videos which are available, where many people have solved the same papers. So they have used different techniques which helps you to solve the papers in a easier way. So first of all, I solved them according to my method, and then I referred to the answers or the process which they used, and then I could do it well.
Okay. Uh, Akanksha, though we discussed about how to choose optional subject and all, I think there is one question from one of the medical graduates,
Okay.
and he has specifically asked about how does a medico choose the optional subjects for civil exam.
Okay. So optional plays a very important role. So if you are a medical graduate, it is we often tend to select medical sciences as an optional. It is an easier way to choose because the person who is setting a paper and the person who is checking the paper is also a doctor. They are not professors, they are doctors who, so it is a very similar kind of process which we have in which we have in our theory papers as well, which we write in our MBBS, right? So it is similar thing. We do not have to write very good answers or very presentable answers in MBBS. Sorry, in options as compared to GS. GS, we have to write introduction, body, conclusion, the two-side arguments, and what is your view or opinion about it. Medical science is not such a thing which is there. Whatever, if a question is asked about a disease, or for example, if a question is asked about jaundice, it is mentioned what are the causes, what is the treatment, what are the symptoms, and what you will do if a case study is given. So it is a very straightforward question, and the sub types of the question or sub points of the question are in the question itself. So it is an easier part. But the difficult part comes when you have to study 15 subjects for 2 papers. So uh, uh, balancing those 15 subjects with the GS papers is a difficult task. Medical science is a huge optional for that matter. Though the syllabus is very, very precisely given, what are the topics of like in anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, they have given what you need to study and what they would ask. But um, even if it is precisely given, we know in medicine the precision is not there. If it is given protein synthesis is a subject of biochemistry, you need to study the whole chapter of protein synthesis in order. So that precision is also vague. What I mean to say. So it is a huge optional for that matter. So if my opinion would be, or my advice would be for that matter, that if you are able to balance those 15 subjects which you have studied in MBBS and you are well versed with that, so you can choose that as an optional. But if you think that your general studies syllabus and this syllabus, you cannot balance it out, and you are neglecting your GS for your optional, then I suggest that you choose any other similar subject which has a shorter syllabus and which is more concise for that matter.
Okay, so I think that question is answered, and about whether choosing a medical subject is a good option for for civil services or not. So that question has been answered very well by Akanksha. There is one more question about note making. How do we make notes? Is it important to make notes, or it is okay to use the notes which are already prepared? And how effective and how should we make the notes if at all they are required?
First of all, there are some standard books which we study for UPSC, and then there are coaching notes which they have already prepared and we study from them. So if you are studying from standard books, like there is a book called Lakshmikant for quality. So if you are studying from such books where there is a text which needs to be concised into a smaller thing, so you can go for note making. because it is you who would be revising it. So it becomes a bit difficult to revise from a book. So if you have to revise it, you can either go for note making, or you can make use of good highlighters where you can concise the information by highlighting it. Secondly, if you are studying coaching notes, uh, in coaching notes, they have already compiled many things and they are already concise. But sometimes the notes are too, what we can say, they are much bulky. If such notes are there, you go for highlighting the notes and then study those. But it is necessary to concise whatever material you are reading rather than making notes. You need to concise your material to study or whatever, so that you can do multiple revision of that concised material only, because this syllabus has many papers, many subjects, and to revise each and everything multiple times and to get hold of the matter, you need to have concise material with you.
Okay, thank you. Another question from Dev Jyoti again, that he wants to know about the preliminary paper, how we prepare for it, and also essay writing.
Okay. So preliminary stage is an objective exam which consists of 200 marks. So whatever the syllabus, first of all, you should go through the syllabus of preliminary exam. Uh, the syllabus of preliminary exam has 5 to 6 subjects, and you need to have the notes according to that preliminary subjects. Prelims is all about you need to answer the objective questions. Now, what happens in prelims exam? Just now, I saw someone who said that he cannot qualify prelims for 3 attempts, right? So, what is the nature of the preliminary exam has started to change. Till 2017, it was more of a conceptual exam which you could easily qualify by reading the standard books and the material, coaching material which was available. But now the preliminary exam is a mix of both factual as well as conceptual part. So what I suggest is that the best way to go for preliminary exam is to solve the mock test. Once you have studied the material which is available to you, the standard books for the subjects as well as the current affairs material, we should give mock test. And in the mock test, you should devise a method to arrive at the answer of the question. What happens in the preliminary examination is that many a times, or from 100 questions, you would be knowing only around 15 to 20 questions which are short, which you would be knowing by heart. But the 80 questions are a mere guess which work which you would do, that is an intellectual guesswork. So for that, you need to have, whenever a question pops up, you need to read the question and you need to read the options. There are 4 options to it. Then you need to eliminate 2 options which cannot be possible or which cannot be the answer to that question. And from the remaining 2, you need to make a guess, or you need to make a logical reasoning to arrive at the answer. It is the method, this method we, would be, you would be using this method after you will give the mock test. You need to devise the method yourself, because you have to give the paper. So you need to devise a method to arrive at the answer of that question. So that is what is prelims is about.
Okay. Then this thing really requires a lot of effort, and you have to balance your other activities also.
Right,
This is a
right.
common question, problem, that we are not able to manage the time.
Yeah.
So how do we manage time for preparing for the exam, as well as some other social responsibilities or family responsibilities? And sometimes many people may not be that fortunate to have a good economical backing, so they might be working as well
Oh,
as studying.
yes.
So how do we manage, or this time can be managed?
Yes, sir. So, sir, first of all, for those who, there are two kinds of people here. For those who can study regularly, um, but who want to take out time for some social gatherings or family gatherings, one set of people for those. Other set is the one who cannot manage time because of some social responsibility or family responsibility or economic responsibility for that matter. So the first set of people where it becomes very difficult to consistently study for many hours and to have some social they want to have some social gatherings or some family thing. So I would suggest that take a day where you would study only for 4 hours or 5 hours that day, and the remaining day you would be carrying out whatever. You would be taking break, you would be resting, you would be meeting your friends, calling, but take only one day where you would be but still you would be studying for 4 hours that day, and then you would be carrying out your responsibility. The other section where it is not possible to study every day for long hours, so that due to any kind of responsibility they have. So, sir, I would suggest them that at least take out 2 to 3 hours a day so that they can study for that and cover the current events which are happening, and one subject, or whatever amount of time they are getting. And then on weekends, where Saturday and Sunday, where they would have a leisure time, in, utilize that time for studying. Whereas I told that you should not study for more than 7 to 8 hours because it becomes difficult to maintain consistency. But for these people who cannot give time daily, they can utilize their Saturday, Sundays for continuously studying for 10 hours, 12 hours. So they can effectively cover the portion for the week.
Okay, thank you. Then another question, again, this point has been covered, but still there is one question. How do we prepare for interview, self-prepare for the interview?
Okay. So interview requires interaction with the board members. So if you have to self-prepare for the interview, it should be either you are conversing with yourself. There is a technique which toppers mainly recommend, is to converse with yourself in front of a mirror. You sit in front of a mirror and then converse with yourself, but it becomes very difficult to judge yourself based on that. So it is, if you do not have access to some institution or online platform or any other thing, you can make use of your family members or your friends who can help you in this matter. Or if you have, it is always advisable that you give mock test. It is always advisable to go to some reputed institution which is taking mock interviews and give it, because their feedback is what will matter, and their feedback is what will help you in scoring more, or will help you to rectify your mistakes and correct them, and guide you in a correct direction, so that you can clear the interview stage as well.
Okay. So now there are, though we were having a lot of questions, and still there will be a lot of more questions. So we will be sharing, maybe if you permit, we will be sharing your number to the aspirants, and we have some WhatsApp group also where this mentoring or guidance can be given. But let me ask you one more question about, why do you think, because our topic is career options after MBBS, the primary series which we are discussing. So why do you think MBBS graduates should aspire for to become civil servant?
Sir, basically, we do MBBS to cure a disease, to cure a patient. It is a branch of science where you are basically going to, what we can say, cure someone or save someone's life. But if as we study in public health, uh, disease or any deformity has two aspects. It doesn't only have a curative aspect, but it also has a preventive aspect. As health is a multidimensional matter or multidimensional subject, it a person's health can be affected in what surrounding he lives, how clean his water supply is, how what is its surrounding like, then what health infrastructure does he have access to, what is the cost at which the health infrastructure is available to it, at what distance his health facility is available, then how qualified the staff is, how much doctors are available, what staff is available. So it is a multi-dimensional aspect. So a doctor's role comes whenever a patient is sick and whenever he goes to a doctor, so he treats the patient. But a civil servant's job comes when much before it. He is the one who can help to prevent a disease by building a good, implementing a health policies, by building good infrastructure, making a health infrastructure available to vulnerable sections of the society, making the government and all the public facilities available to the last mile, um, guiding people to how to use the health facilities, how they can acquire good facilities, then what should be done. Like if there is a pandemic, a COVID pandemic, the most important thing was wearing masks and not spreading. We had to stop the pandemic from spreading. We had to break the chain of transmission. So there civil servants come into the role where you have to prevent the disease, where you have to decrease the prevalence and incidence of a disease by uh, improving the environment, by making health infrastructure and all the facilities accessible and available to all the members of the society, and the socially uplifting them, so can so if they are healthy, they can have access to good education, good health, and all the other facilities which will help them to be empowered and help them to rise above their social status, and thus do something good for themselves, their family, their country, and their society.
Yeah, that reminds me of one important famous quote by Nelson Mandela, that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Getting
Yes.
educated for UPSC and trying to change the world for a betterment, for more
Yes,
benefit
sir.
of the Bahujan Hitaya. That is
Yes, sir.
what I think you want to say, that why should the medical graduate should go for the civil service.
Yes, sir.
So that was very interesting to interact with you, and really I enjoyed that, and I'm sure that all those who are live with us, or those who would be seeing this, would be immensely benefited by this your experience. I would like to say that winners don't do different things; they do the things differently. So we have here two winners who have done the things in slightly different way, though everybody tries it. But they are the winners, and their experience is definitely going to help others to achieve what they wish for. I think we do not have further more questions, so we can stop here. If somebody from Nalanda Digital is there and would like to say something, I welcome them to share their thoughts. Anybody from Digital Nalanda would like to share their thoughts or give their opinion? Okay. Yeah, definitely. We will share the books with you. Dr. Pankaj is here. If Dr. Pankaj can, I would invite Dr. Pankaj to please share his, I would say, thought for about today's session. Dr. Pankaj.
Yeah, thank you, Tushar, for this wonderful session. Thank you so much, Apurva and Akanksha. You were so bright, and we are proud to be associated and affiliated with you and of course Nalanda Academy, which has given us this wonderful platform to interact with our brethren and our youngsters. And what I see is, other than what Dr. Tushar has already beautifully summarized, and other than specific to this session, so I see here an opportunity. I see here an opportunity to link, an opportunity to network, and an opportunity wherein we are mentoring our young generations with a hope and an expectation that they would soon become mentors for this platform and would continue this chain of holding hands and taking beyond the tide for all our youngsters. And this is what probably I have understood what Baba Saheb meant when he talked about fraternity. And it's a feeling of brotherhood, say sisterhood, and it has to come from within. So I sincerely thank each one of you, especially Nalanda platform, and I think our task is not complete till we thank Anup Kumarji, whose vision, whose idea, and whose guidance has materialized today's session. And not just that, the way he talks about democratizing education, we are contributing it in the medical field. So I feel immensely proud to be associated and affiliated with him, and to take ahead this platform and this Karwa ahead. I would request, urge all of you to be encouraging and participating in these sessions and to take maximum benefit out of these sessions. Thank you so much, Dr. Akanksha, Dr. Apurva, and also Dr. Tushar. And I hand over back to Dr. Tushar.
Yeah, thank you, Pankaj. That was really the essence was about giving back to the society and helping our brethren to progress and continue the journey of our Karwa for betterment of majority. Once again, I would like to thank Apurva and Dr. Akanksha. It was very
Thank you
nice
so
to
much, sir.
interact with you, and I'm very happy, and that's a new experience for me also to be part of this. And I again thank Dr. Pankaj for giving me this opportunity to get interact with the link to the Nalanda platform. And as he has already thanked Anup Kumarji, I again, from my own behalf, thank Anup Kumarji for giving this platform for all of us. And I hope this journey would continue and it will help the larger population. Thank you very much. Jai Bhim. Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you, Tushar sir, as well for conducting the session so meticulously. We enjoyed interacting with you and all the people who joined today, as well as thank you Nalanda University Nalanda Digital Nalanda, and all the people who have come together to create such a beautiful platform where people can inspire others to actually take up some good career opportunities, and where people who have already cleared or who have qualified are guiding them to in a right direction, and so that they can also qualify and succeed in whatever field and whatever endeavor they undergo. So thank you everyone for joining today, and I extend my heartfelt gratitude towards Pankaj Vaidya sir and all the my fraternity for having me today and sharing my experience and whatever little knowledge which I had about the examination with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Would you like to say something?
It's very thankful for this wonderful session that we had. And this was so informative, and listening to so many things from Akanksha ma'am, I felt really good. I did not have this much of information about other fields. So it was a really wonderful session, and we thank you for conducting it so well, and thankful to Digital Nalanda for organizing this, and Pankaj sir for giving us this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can we sign out?
Okay.
Yes, we can sign out now. Thank you.